Does it matter how much your partner makes?
Ooh, I think this is such a juicy question. So let's read this Reddit submission. Does money matter in relationships? And another note, this is from 10 years ago, and I think maybe times have changed, maybe thoughts have changed on this, but I still thought it was an interesting query. I've been with my boyfriend for a little more than 2 years now. We've been living together for over 7 months. I'm 30 and he's 29. We have a really happy relationship. Obviously not perfect because nothing ever is, but we get along really well, laugh together, have similar interests, rarely fight well when we do, etc. It's the best and happiest relationship I've been in. Lately, we've started discussing marriage, and that makes me really happy. But I have one doubt that keeps niggling in the back of my brain. I'm a professional, a chartered accountant, working for the government and make good money, and I will likely continue to do better and better. He is currently working for barely more than minimum wage and is somewhat confused about where to go with his life. He's not lazy, but spent a lot of his 20s trying to break into an industry that's very hard to get into, but with only moderate success. The job he's in now is great experience that could lead to something better, but it's all very uncertain. We both have significant student loans to pay down. Up until now, the money hasn't mattered to me. I've never been someone who expects my boyfriend to buy me dinner or presents or whatever, and he's never had a problem making the rent. But now that we're considering spending the rest of our lives together, I worry about what our future will be like. We both want kids and I don't want us to support them on one income. We would never be poor even if he didn't work at all, but I worry I could become resentful of having to live at a much lower standard of living than I could if he contributed more financially. I want to be able to travel and have a nice house and take maternity leave. He may eventually be making an income that makes those things possible, but it's all very uncertain. He will never make as much as me and that's fine, but even if he just made half, I would be happy. I'm not considering leaving him because, as I said, I'm really happy except for this one niggling down. I honestly can't imagine finding someone else who would treat me better. Up until now, I've always considered I'd rather have a great guy who was poor than a rich guy who was kind of a dick. But given my worry, should we hold off on getting engaged until his financial situation is resolved? Or should I try to let it go and be happy to plan the rest of my life with someone I love? Too long didn't read. I make a lot more money than my boyfriend. We are considering marriage. Is a financially unbalanced marriage a bad idea, or does love conquer all?
I think it comes down to what you said at the beginning of the podcast, and it's really unspoken financial and goals moving forward as a couple, and you want to make sure that you are aligned, like not just financially, but in goals in life, and they seem that they have similar interests, but maybe their vision and their goals is kind of different, and that might be a problem moving forward later on. That would be interesting actually, because this was 10 years ago. So what's happening now? Are
I'm curious. Let's reach out to for love or money. I'm so curious. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that it's like the be all and or end all, like money for sure, but it is really important. Like let's
think
be
it's
real,
just money. It's more like
lifestyle
goal,
Yeah.
just the goal in life. Like maybe
Yeah, being able to travel, have a nice house. Because, yeah, those are important things. And, she wouldn't want to be resentful moving forward. But I'm curious about whether she's brought this up to her partner as well. Because I think that the most important thing is for them to discuss these things rather than just her having a bit of uncertainty and him just not knowing that there's anything wrong. Because I'm sure they'd be able to find a solution that they'd both be happy with. Because it sounds like, he's like trying to pursue his passion, like he's doing what he loves doing, and he's obviously trying to break into an industry that might be really hard. But maybe there could be, I don't know, like a medium option where they could both be happy, maybe even like potentially he could earn money, or he could do like another job, maybe slightly different, do like a part-time thing or something like that. And also I think she should also consider, I think what's also important is like, if you are with a partner that is open to taking care of the kids or contributing more around the home, like that's really important too. Maybe they should have some of those discussions as well, because if he can potentially like help more around those things, maybe that could also lead to her being able to maybe make more money, or potentially he could look at some other potential jobs that he could look at that could increase their income. I don't know. There are a few different options. I think they could potentially like list a few of them out, draw up a list of pros and cons and see which one they'd be the most happy with.
Yeah, what's interesting also, they've been together 2 years, right? Is that in these 2 years, has it always been stuck like this, trying to get into the industry and not moving ahead? Or was there like a growth mindset and trying different things as well? And you see that there is potential? Or is it always been trying, failing the same thing over and over, and then maybe 10 years down the track, that's probably going, Growth mindset, definitely something to consider.
So we asked you guys on Instagram, would you prefer your partner to earn more money than you, earn less than you, earn the same, or does it matter to you? And the most popular answer was that it doesn't matter to you, 60%. So that was the most popular answer by far. The next most popular answer was earn more than you, 24%, and then earn the same, 13%. And the least popular option, earn less than you, which I thought was quite interesting.
Yeah, I think, well, first, earning the same is really hard. Like, be like, I'm not going to get a pay raise. I'm going to, very hard. I think it should not really matter as long as you're happy with what you make and yourself. And the more your partner make, and the more happier they are. Because sometimes you make more money, but you have less time, free time. So sometimes it's not always good to, the more is not better always.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe your partner earns heaps more than you, but doesn't have time for you to go on dates, to
exactly.
help out around the house as well. That's another con to somebody earning heaps of money, right? So
yeah, sometimes they don't have time the weekend just because they earn more and they have to do extra work. So
yeah, lots of things to consider. I think Pablo and I, our mindset about money's changed for sure over the years. Like, we no longer want to just earn heaps and heaps of money and have no time. Time is really important to us.